Happy to have you streaming with us on this Thursday. I'm Elise Seedy, and a very busy hour ahead for you this morning. But let's begin by taking a live look at the White House. And that's because here in hopefully the next few minutes, we'll be hearing from President Trump live from the Oval Office. We do know he will be making an announcement. We don't know exactly what the topic of that will be. Again, this is supposed to get going here in just the next few minutes. But here is what is being speculated about the subject of the president's announcement here. We, of course, find ourselves in the longest running government shutdown in the history of the country. Day 37 now, and President Trump is renewing his calls for senators to scrap the filibuster. So there are signs that some negotiations could be in progress, at least a little bit of movement that we're seeing there. Some lawmakers say that they are cautiously optimistic that a deal could be reached here by the end of the week. So again, we're getting closer and closer to that. So we'll see if that actually happens. But Democrats are claiming that it all comes down to the White House and is dependent on the president and on Republicans as well. So what we're seeing from the president is that he's increased pressure on Senate Republicans to end this shutdown, calling it a big factor negative in the poor GOP performance that we saw on election night on Tuesday, where Democrats won some really high-profile races, many of those. Democrats, for their part in this shutdown, they're not budging. They're saying this is all dependent on health care subsidies being extended, because they're saying that prices will go up for folks as they enter this open enrollment period to get health insurance. So again, no word just yet on what this announcement will be from President Trump. That was supposed to get underway at 11. We know these things don't usually happen just on time, though, so we will make sure to join live with the president as soon as we see some movement there from the Oval Office. We'll keep you posted on that. But want to get to another big story. This was breaking news this morning from Nancy Pelosi. She's announced her retirement from Congress, and this ends a decades-long career that saw the California Democrat becoming one of the most powerful figures in U.S. politics. So really, really big news update here. So she released a video message this morning saying that she will not be seeking re-election to Congress at the end of her term in January 2027. So still some time left for her to serve. But she's 85 years old. She became the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House, led her party in the lower chamber of Congress, that is, from 2003 until 2023. So again, the big news from today, Nancy Pelosi is planning her retirement from Congress, will not seek re-election when her term ends in January of 2027. Let's take a live look now at the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson here in Atlanta. And what we're seeing across the country is that travelers are bracing for canceled flights, in long waits, the works. We've already seen a bit of that. We do know now it will get worse. And that's because there will be a 10% reduction in flights at 40 major airports. We still don't know what those airports are. So, of course, we're holding our breath here in Atlanta, wondering if this is something that will affect us here. That's the big question. We again don't have an answer for that, but we do have our Chris Rosenthal live at Hartsfield-Jackson with what we can see and with what we're seeing at the airport right now. Looks like we got you there in baggage claim. Chris, so good morning to you, and tell us what you're seeing out there at the airport today.
Yeah, good morning. You know, Atlanta has about over 2,000 flights a day on this airport, so a 10% reduction, you know, you do the math, that's about 200 flights that could be canceled. You know, I'm looking right now at the board today, the departures and arrival board, and things appear to be largely smooth, mostly on time flights today, and not too busy today. The lines in the security checkpoint, you know, 1 minute, 4 minutes up there, the sign reads. So things, you know, seem to be pretty calm today, but, you know, hopefully this isn't just a calm before the storm of 10% reductions that are supposed to be coming tomorrow. You know, Delta saying that the vast majority of the flights that they have should not be affected, and that long-haul flights, you know, those are international flights, shouldn't be affected, and that you know, they'll work with passengers as far as any sort of refunds or any sort of rebookings to help, you know, get passengers where they need to go, or get them the money back for those flights. I did talk, as far as passengers' reaction down here, I did talk with one woman. She flew in from Syracuse. She's supposed to fly back on Sunday, and she actually hadn't heard this news, so I told her about it. But she was, a little worried that that her Delta flight could be, could be canceled. But it's just a matter of keeping an eye out on your phone, on your emails. They should, if there are any changes, they should reach out to you and let you know. But yeah, see, about that list officially, of the 40 airports. Atlanta is world's busiest, so it very well may be one of those. Of course, flights, it's a big network of flights across this country, so a lot of people could be impacted.
Domestic flight traveling from Syracuse, New York, here to Atlanta to hang out with some friends.
And then you said Sunday you're heading back to New York?
Yes, so arrived today, heading back on Sunday.
And so I was just telling you about, you just heard about this 10% reduction. Are you concerned that this might affect your plans?
Yes, the 10% reduction, just found out about it, but didn't know prior to booking, and wondering what that would look like come Sunday with the busyness, being one of the larger airports, and if I would be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, you concerned you might not be able to get back home?
Slightly. We were concerned coming. My partner, my husband, was very much concerned about getting here. So now with this taking shape tomorrow, I believe, or soon, definitely worried about traveling Sunday.
Right now it's you haven't gotten any notice on your flights of any sort of cancellations or anything.
Nothing as yet, and I wish they would have told us something sooner so we can proactively plan. But hopeful that there would be things that we can do to help accommodate.
Do you have some flexibility?
No. I mean, my family and my work will work with me, but I really need to be back on Sunday.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, they say just keep an eye. You're flying Delta, right?
Delta.
Delta, yeah. And so Delta says just keep an eye on your. They'll let you know, and they'll be flexible with people. So.
Okay, that's my hope. That it's an early flight. My hope is that if something were to come up, or if it's busy, that I would know sooner than later. So if I need to leave sooner, I can, or make adjustments as needed with my family.
Yeah, that was Marsha Johnson, hoping she gets back home okay on Sunday on her Delta flight. United says their international flights should go as planned, but and their hub-to-hub flights should go as planned, but might be some of the smaller domestic and regional flights may be an issue for them. So right. It's pretty calm, but we'll see what comes tomorrow.
I almost can't believe how calm it is. So we don't want to jinx anything. Let's keep things moving there at Hartsfield-Jackson. Chris Rosenthal live for us out at the airport. Chris, thank you so much for your live reporting there. We certainly appreciate you. All right, so if you've got some flights that are coming up, or maybe you've got some friends and family that are headed out on trips, you're probably wondering what you can expect, what the big airlines are saying about it. So let's take a look at this. This is what we're learning from United. They're saying they'll refund any customers who change their plans during the cuts. The CEO says the company plans to keep customers updated as schedules change and give customers multiple alternatives to their travel plan. So they're saying we're keeping up with this. We're gonna offer different ways for you to get to where you need to go. Meanwhile, American Airlines is telling their customers just stick with your original plans, and the airline will reach out to you immediately if you are impacted. So here's what Southwest Airlines is saying about it. They're saying they're looking into how the cuts will impact the schedule. Plan to give an update on that soon. Company released a statement online saying it'll also notify customers if their flights are canceled, and in most cases automatically rebook them onto another flight. Travelers who no longer want to fly following a cancellation are eligible for a refund. So again, if you are just now tuning in, what you're seeing up on your screen, the FAA will be reducing those flights by 10%, will have a huge impact, and we will be seeing those reductions happening at 40 airports across the nation. So we're keeping our eyes here on Hartsfield Jackson to see when that news will be released and the airports that are being impacted by that. So another sector we're seeing a big impact as well. We're talking about those SNAP benefits that millions of Americans are receiving, and there's been quite a bit of confusion lately on if and when those benefits will be hitting. So here's the latest on that. The Trump administration says it will not spend all of the contingency funds to keep those SNAP benefits flowing, and that's causing many recipients to worry about how they're going to put food on the table this month. So even after federal courts ruled the Trump administration must at least pay partial benefits, the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities found about 40% of households that get the maximum level of food stamp benefits could see their payments cut in half. So those with some of the income could see a larger share of this, with 1 to 2 person households possibly receiving $12 and more than 1 million households getting nothing at all. So certainly the need is great right now when it comes to putting food on the table. And that's why so many of these food pantries that we're checking in with around town are talking about how they're seeing more and more families than ever that are showing up at their doors. That's certainly the case in Jackson, Georgia, Joshua's Place Food Pantry. Like we mentioned, they serve a lot of families. That number, though, has skyrocketed here recently. So we have our Eli Jordan, who is there today. A big delivery is happening in just a bit. Eli, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Elise. Yes, I've covered a lot of food pantries in Atlanta, and they're hurting as well. But there's a lot of resources there. But out in the rural Georgia, there's not as many resources, and that's why places like Joshua's Place is very, very important. And normally they serve about 250, 350 people, per week. Every first and third Monday or second and fourth Monday, about 350 households per week. Well, this past Monday they saw an uptick of 100 extra households, and they are kind of wondering what they are going to do when things really kick in, this next handout of food distribution. And I am with Linda Daly. She is the director of Joshua's Place here in Jackson. Linda, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
And to tell me, how big of an increase did you guys see last week or last handout?
Last food bank?
Yeah, I mean, was it a surprise? Tell me about it.
Yes, it was. We had actually an increase of 100 new people to come on. And we was able to feed them all, though, but because of the increase, and we actually partners with Atlanta Food Bank, and by partnering with Atlanta Food Bank, we have to go out, and that's where we usually get our food from. And right now we're finding a great need because we're having the volumes is increased, and so we got a monetary need that we're having right now.
So the dollar can go a lot further with the
Atlanta Food Bank
than going to Costco or Sam's or something like that.
Exactly. Yes.
And so tell me, are you guys? What's your concern like as we approach further donation days and the SNAP benefits still lapse in coverage?
Because we cover multiple counties. We don't only cover Butts County, but we cover about 29 counties throughout Georgia. And so our concern is that we want to be able to meet the needs of all the people. We do not want anyone to be able to come here and be able to have to turn away and say that we don't have enough food. So my goal is our goal here is to be able to continue to feed them as we've always have. And we give our boxes of food that actually covers for about 2 weeks. We'll try to feed a family of 5, and that box usually will cover 2 weeks until the next food bank.
Now, when I'm mentioning, you guys normally serve, 250, 350, per donation day, that's a whole household, correct?
That's a household, but family-wise, the last food bank we had, I'll give you an example. For the month of October, we actually fed about 2,500 people. and
Okay.
that was in October.
And you're saying monetary donations are better because the dollar can go a lot
Because the
further.
dollar can go a lot further. We are in dire need for monetary donations.
And I guess if anybody's interested in helping out, I mean, joshua.place.com is your website?
Yes, it is.
joshua.place.com, and I guess you just click the donate button. I was speaking to you earlier about that.
Yeah.
And again, the dollar will go a lot further because you guys go through the Atlanta Food
Yes,
Bank.
we
But
do.
also too, though, everybody's Atlanta Food Bank is stretched as well. You have Thanksgiving coming up, and you normally hand out
Yes.
850 turkeys, but you don't have any turkeys
We
lined up
have
for-
no turkeys, and we would love to get some turkeys for our people. And last year we gave out 850. Right now we have no turkeys, and so we've ordered about 2,700 pounds of chicken to help cover that need. We got that coming in this Monday. But if we could get turkeys, it would make a big difference.
So this is stretching into the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes.
It's rough, and I believe I heard a truck just pull up.
Yes.
And we got some more food out here just now arriving.
Yes.
And, to stock up for Joshua's Place Pantry here, and it just arrived. And like you said, it won't last very long, but
No, this
every
is
little
from
bit helps.
Midwest.
And just tell me one more time, just what do you guys need, and what are you guys most concerned about?
Okay, our concern is meeting the need, and what we would love to have, as I said before, is monetary donation. We need all the monetary donations that we can get. We're in dire need, and we would love to be able to have a big Thanksgiving and be able to give out the turkeys that we gave out before. And this time we're expecting, like last time was 850 turkeys. We may need 1,600 turkeys. We don't know. And we're just trying to plan ahead, because we do not want people to come all the way, as an example, from Gordon County, which is 2 hours away, and we have to turn them away and say, hey, we have no food. And so our goal is to always be able to feed the hungry.
Linda?
God has blessed us that way, and we just want to be able to share. That's our desire.
Well, Linda Daly, thank you so much, Director of Joshua's Place here in Jackson, Georgia, Butts County. Just one of the few rural pantries in Georgia, and they're feeling the effects of the lapse in SNAP benefits, and they're worried about Thanksgiving coming up as well. With they don't have any turkeys yet, and they normally have all their turkeys lined up, in October, at least.
Yeah, I love her, by the way. You can tell she's got a passion for what she's doing and the difference that Joshua's Place is making. We still have that website up, joshuasplace.com, Eli, for those that want to give. And she mentioned money is needed as much as food donations, if not more. So if you can donate monetarily, then that makes a big difference as
Correct.
well. But Eli, thank you so much for being live there for us. And I know it's going to make a lot of families make their holidays a lot brighter. So we certainly appreciate that. All right, let's switch gears now and get you caught up on the forecast. If you've had a chance to make it outside, then it's a nice day. It's pleasant. Things felt a little bit warmer out there this morning than they did yesterday morning, and we're looking forward to another beautiful day. So we need to enjoy it for now, seems to be the message we're getting from meteorologist Lauren Robinson, because things are going to be changing, right?
Oh, yeah. Enjoy it while you can. We're going to see some cold weather move in. We're also going to see some showers, maybe even some strong to severe storms. So a little bit of everything as we move through the next few days. If you like the sunny, warm, dry weather today and maybe the first half of your day tomorrow, let's go ahead and take a live look outside, where you can see we do have those very clear skies out there, and we're going to continue to look for these clear skies as we go through the rest of our afternoon. Temperatures right now warming up nicely. We're going to be warming up into the 70s as we go through the rest of the day, but in the meantime, we're looking for those temperatures in the 60s. There we go, all around North Georgia. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we'll be seeing over the next few days, because that's where the big change is coming in. Right now, we're under the influence of this high pressure system off to the north. That'll go bye-bye. And as it does, we're going to look for some changes to move in from the northwest there along that cold front that's over Nashville there by around 7 o'clock tomorrow afternoon or so. We're going to see some rain showers push into North Georgia with that. And then behind that secondary front, we're going to see some colder temperatures move in. So what does that mean for us? Well, that means some scattered shower chances showers and even a few storms as we move through the next few days. As far as severe weather is concerned, across North Georgia Friday, this will be the latter half of the day Friday, because tomorrow we're going to start the day sunny and warm, and then that cloud cover is going to move in during the afternoon, and during the evening we're going to watch for some isolated showers and storms. That dark green color that's to the west and northwest, that's going to be Chattanooga down through LaGrange. We're going to look for the possibility for one or two of those storms to become stronger. Our bigger impacts here are going to be locally heavy downpours. We're looking for gusty winds and some lightning and thunder. Saturday, you'll notice that dark green color all across North Georgia. That's a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. Really what we're looking for Saturday will be scattered showers and a few storms here or there. Those few storms here or there could become stronger, and we're even looking for the possibility of some small to moderate size hail as we go throughout our Saturday. So we're going to continue to monitor that. As far as rainfall totals are concerned through the weekend, well, we're mostly going to see those higher totals north of the I-20 corridor. To the south, we're looking for trace amounts of rainfall. To the north, we could see maybe 1 to 2 inches in some isolated spots. Outside of that, in the meantime, we're in the lower to middle 70s this afternoon, above average, sunny and warm. Even as we move into the overnight hours, we're falling into the upper 40s to low 50s. And take a look at these temperatures. We're in the 70s through the first half of the weekend, and we're good. Sunday is a little, whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday, ouch.
The bottom falls out, right?
Yes, we're looking at those highs to peak in the 40s on Monday, and Tuesday, we're not much warmer. We're going to finally start to level out during the middle of next week. Oh, but that Monday, that's going to make Monday hurt even more than it already does.
Are you ready for all of us to be complaining? Because you know that's good. We know it's coming too, but I feel like when you experience that kind of cold, like it just, nothing truly prepares you for that.
That's fine.
After
So I'm going to be
this.
complaining right along with everybody.
There we go. All in that together. All right, Lauren, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It's 11:21, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. So Veterans Day is right around the corner, so it's an important time to honor their sacrifice, of course, honor all that they do for our country, but it's also a time where we're looking at many of the ongoing issues that they face, struggles like addiction and mental health struggles with that as well. So this morning we have Dr. Joseph Volpicelli. He's the executive director of the Institute of Addiction Medicine, joining us with ways to help our veterans overcome alcohol dependence and improve their quality of life. So it's so good to have you with us. Thanks for being on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Let's dive into this. Let's talk about some of those unique challenges that we're mentioning here that they face, this alcohol dependence. So many of them. Talk to us a little bit about that, Dr. Volpicelli.
Yes, about 40% of our veterans will at some point in their life have alcohol use disorder where they drink excessively. And at any one particular point in time, about 15% will have meet the criteria for an alcohol addiction or alcohol use disorder. Fortunately, the VA is doing a much better job of identifying people who have the disorder and offering effective treatments.
So let's talk about some of those treatments. What would a comprehensive, holistic approach be to treating addiction like this for our veterans? What are we talking about?
So the best chance to get better from alcohol addiction is a combination of psychosocial support, like cognitive therapy, motivational treatment, and the use of medications. And there's several medications that are FDA approved to treat alcohol addiction.
Let's talk about one of those. I hope I'm saying this right. Is it Vivitrol?
Yeah, so Vivitrol is extended release naltrexone. So naltrexone is the one that's been studied the most often to treat addictions. And, although the incidence of people using it has been increasing lately, it's still used relatively rarely. Mm-hmm. The difficulty with oral naltrexone or the pill form is that people don't always take it consistently. And so there's a version of naltrexone, which is a once-a-month injection that improves treatment adherence.
Yeah, I'm sure that can make all the difference. You have to take those medications, right, for them to be able to work. But can you give us a little bit, explaining it in terms that we'll understand, in a way that we'll understand, the way that those types of medications work in the brain to help reduce alcohol cravings?
Yeah, so one of the problems with addiction is that people have an obsession where they're thinking about drinking all the time. Or when they start drinking, the drinking creates the need to continue drinking. One drink turns into 10 drinks. And the medicines block the craving, the craving that comes about when you drink. And so a person can have 1 or 2 drinks and stop. I remember when I did a study at the VA, one of the subjects came to me and he said that he was at a bar and someone offered him a drink and he had a couple of sips and he left the drink right there at the bar, that he had no interest in continuing the drinking. And that was the first time in his life that ever happened. So that the naltrexone can block the effects of alcohol where you don't want to continue drinking.
That's so interesting and good to hear that it's able to work in that way, certainly. But, along with all this, it makes you think about the stigma that so many feel is that they'll experience when they ask for help or when they say that maybe a family member or friend needs help. So what are ways that we can help to reduce that stigma that's keeping our veterans from getting help?
Yeah, so many veterans are trained to project strength to protect people, and they don't often take time to ask for help. And it's important to realize that asking for help is not a weakness. It shows courage that you ask for help. And as loved ones, it's important to approach people not with judgment, but with compassion, that you don't tell people you should do this, you should do that, but you just point out how their drinking is affecting their life and to point people to options where they can get better.
Well, let's talk about some of those options. Are there any resources through the VA? I mean, what would you suggest to a veteran who realizes that they need help?
Yeah, so the easiest thing is to contact your local VA. And I want to point out that even if a VA is not local to you, VA has done a great job of setting up telemedicine programs to help you, even if you're at some distance from a VA hospital. There's ways to get help even if you're not a veteran, by going to various places online where where you can ask for treatment providers, and there's even a number that you can call if you have addiction problems.
I'm going to put your website up right here. This is instituteaddictionmedicine.org. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do and some of the work that you've done. I can imagine that you have a rewarding job when you can see that, you know, people's lives are improving.
Yeah, I mean, I've been treating people for 40 years now, and it's the best job in medicine, that when you can turn people's lives around and improve their life and the life of the people around them, like their family. And what I've done is, even though we have effective treatments, I've been discouraged that the treatments aren't being used consistently. So, for example, in a general population, only about 2.5% of people receive one of these good, effective medicines to help treat them with their addiction. And so the Institute of Addiction Medicine is really set up to help promote evidence-based treatments to help people, and that includes using medications.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to check in with us. A really important topic all the time, but especially ahead of Veterans Day as well. So Dr. Joseph Volpicelli, Executive Director of the Institute of Addiction Medicine, we certainly appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
All right. It is 11:30, and we'll be right back. right, welcome back, everyone. So there is a turkey giveaway that's happening in Gwinnett County, and that's gotten a lot of people's attention, especially these days, as you can imagine. So our Tyler Fingert is live out there at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds. Started not too long ago, runs through the afternoon, so this should be a really big giveaway, Tyler.
Yeah, Elise, good morning to you. It started just about 30 minutes ago, and I'll tell you, people have been waiting in line here for hours. I'm told as early as 4 a.m. for the chance to be able to pick up the food that they need for Thanksgiving. I mean, we're just 3 weeks away. Take a look behind me. You'll see there's a whole group of cars coming down right now. They're hoping to serve about 3,000 people. They're going to be giving them protein, fresh produce, so everything that they would need to be able to have a Thanksgiving Thanksgiving dinner on the table in just about 3 weeks. And obviously, as you said, Elise, this is a big time right now, especially with the government shutdown. Some people not able to get the full benefits from SNAP. We know that more than 1 million Georgians rely on that every single month here in our state, and that is of vital importance. I want to bring in the person who started all of this. That is the Sheriff of Gwinnett County, Kibo Taylor. How important is it to have something like this every single year? This is the 5th annual one.
Man, it's I can't even put it into words right about now. We started doing this shortly after I got in office, man, because we recognized that coming about COVID, there were people that needed food, a lot of food insecurities out here. But what we recognize is that each and every year we do it, the numbers kept growing and growing. So this year, in light of a lot of other things that are going on, we do really understand that there's folks out here that are hurting and they need food and they need help. So I'm just glad that we're able to come out here and do whatever we can do our part. Can I say thank you? Yeah, let me tell my people, man.
You have 300 people here helping out, volunteers, and all of the donations. I mean, that's a huge thing. That's beyond just you.
Everything that we have, from everybody that has spent their time coming out here, packaging up food, to all of our volunteers that have come out, my staff, they do a tremendous job putting this thing together. Our sponsors, man, we want to make sure that everybody knows that we got some major sponsors that come out here and help donate and pull this thing together for us. So, it's just the community pulling together, giving back, doing our little small part. But thank you.
What is, for you, this has got to be personally feel really good to be able to help the people in your own community. You guys are a law enforcement agency. You guys handle the jail. You handle different things in the Gwinnett County community. This doesn't seem like it's fully a part of what you guys do, but why is this so important every year to do this?
Well, I campaign on changing the culture, okay? And one of the things that we wanted to do is when we got in here, let folks see us as law enforcement officers, yes, but I also wanted them to see us as part of the community. We're husbands, we're fathers out here, we're grandfathers, mothers, we're all part, and it takes everybody doing their part to make this thing work. So what I wanted them to see is that they saw us in other ways outside of law enforcement, where we're coming in and we're partnering and building those relationships. And I think that's very important, that they know that we're here for them and, in more than one way. So this is just one of the ways we've been able to, connect, give back, and just truly blessed to be able to do it.
From personally, how does this feel for you and for your deputies to be able to do this for the last 5 years?
Man, you're trying to get me emotional. That's not going to work today. I'm so blessed, man. That's the only way I can put it is I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in happen chance. I believe everything has a purpose. And, God gave us this vision coming in the door, and we've been able to take it stronger, bigger, and better than anything we could have ever imagined that it would be. So hopefully next year, we do more. I would like to be able to say at some point that we can double what we do, because as long as we got people out here that has need, we just want to be in position to service them.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. 3 weeks till Thanksgiving. What's on your Thanksgiving plate? What meat, and then what side dishes?
Oh, you're a little late. Somebody else hit me with that one before, so I think I pretty well much got it down, man. I've not met a fried turkey that I didn't love. Okay?
Well, that sounds good.
Some turnip greens. All right, got to have the dressing. You got to have the gravy to go with it. Corn, and because of my weight, we're not going to talk about the sweet stuff. We're going to keep that secret.
All the pies are my favorite part, I have to say. The turkey's okay, but all the pies. Oh, yeah. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 5 and Fox Local, and thank you for what you guys do. This is going to be going on from 11. It already started until 4 o'clock today. 3,000 families are expecting to be able to feed. It's while supplies last. And if you come on out here, you don't even have to get out of your car. Literally, there are so many volunteers who are just going to load up your car out here. Elise, if anyone in our community is looking for a way to put food on the table, especially during this difficult time, it might be the place to come here today. And I'm assuming a lot of our viewers, we've been telling about them all morning, this is the place probably to be.
You're
Elise?
so right. And I want to make sure I got this right. You said this runs until 4 today out at the fairgrounds in Gwinnett?
until 4
Okay.
or while supplies
right.
last. So they're hoping to last until 4, but it
Yeah.
may be a little earlier depending how many people come on out here and how quickly people come on out here. And I'll tell you, the line, though, when we were trying to come here at about 10 o'clock, super busy, super
wild.
packed, and people were waiting starting at about 4 a.m. is what I'm told.
Oh, my gosh. Which, I feel like it's probably always the case, but especially this year with so many people going through such tough times, Tyler, it makes a lot of sense these events are more popular than ever. So, hey, we appreciate the look out there live, and I know it's going to be a big day for a lot of families taking advantage of that. Tyler, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. All right, I want to get you to something really exciting that's happening for students all across the country, but specifically for one in particular at Barrow Arts and Sciences Academy, where Emma Pittman has been chosen to represent more than 250,000 students, which is pretty incredible, at an event, a nationwide event that's hosted by Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, or FCCLA. So we have the CEO of FCCLA joining us now, Sandy Spavone, to talk a little bit about the organization and the big event that is coming up. So, Sandy, thank you so much for being on with us. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, I have to do a refresher on this because I remember FCCLA from high school. And so for those watching and are like, oh, I remember that was a thing and there were a lot of people who were a part of that. Give us the lowdown on the organization and what you guys do.
Sure. Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, FCCLA, we're a career and technical student organization, and we're based in family and consumer sciences courses. So teachers that teach family and consumer sciences integrate FCCLA to give students an opportunity to build on their leadership skills and their employability skills as they consider different careers they might be interested in and take that a little bit deeper and see if it's actually the career that they thought it was, and learn and prepare for that.
I mean, what an incredible opportunity for these students to get hands-on experience. And I mean, that's experience you only get right if you actually go out and give it a try ahead of time. So tell me about this event that's happening in DC, because this seems like the ultimate leadership opportunity for students like Emma to be able to take advantage of in DC.
It is. We host what we call Capital Leadership, and that is a program for the students to come and learn about advocacy. So how do I talk to my legislative representatives about concerns that I have? And they go up on the Hill and they actually meet with the senators and congressmen that represent their state and share with them the importance of family consumer sciences and career technical education. So they learn the leadership skills, the communication skills, as well as sometimes really learning about the importance of being a good community member and advocating for what you believe makes a difference. They're able to share their personal stories, and having Emma, a great leader just directly from your state, going up and talking to your representatives is fantastic. While they're there, they also have an opportunity to go through leadership skill training and learn about different careers in family and consumer sciences. And one of the opportunities that Emma's team of national officers have is they get to participate in the wreath laying at the Arlington Cemetery.
Oh, wow.
So it's a great opportunity to come to Washington, D.C. and participate and advocate for what they feel is important to them.
What does this make you feel as the CEO of FCCLA when you see these young people stepping up into these leadership roles, taking advantage of opportunities like this? I mean, what do you think that says about the next generation?
I am so excited by this generation. They inspire me. I get chills just thinking about it. This generation, I have found, is they want to make a difference. They're looking for careers that impact their communities. They're volunteering. The work that they're already doing as teenagers is so inspirational because they want the world to be better and they want to be part of that, being that change. So they're not chasing necessarily the dollars. They're chasing an impact. They want their life to make a difference, and that gives me hope. It's just such a great story to be able to be part of that, and I'm so honored to get to work with these youth and have that inspiration that comes directly from them.
Of course, I can imagine this is pretty rewarding for you in your role to get to see them stepping up in this way. So if someone's watching and they're curious about how schools, how communities can support more students getting involved with programs like FCCLA, I mean, what would you tell them? Where should they go if they want to learn more and potentially be a part of FCCLA?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to our website, fcclainc.org, that's the best place. You can drill right down to your state of Georgia, but also your school. If you look up your school and look for family and consumer sciences courses, the state of Georgia has over 28,000 FCCLA teenage members.
Wow.
So it's a huge organization right there in Georgia. So you can probably find one and get connected. But as community companies and workforce, and you're looking for great employees, also get connected with your FCCLA chapter, as they love to hear about different careers and job opportunities too.
I love this. FCCLA doing big things around the nation, and so good to hear such a great impact being made here in Georgia as well. So, Sandy, thank you so much for checking in with us, and I hope the leadership conference in D.C. goes well. Pretty excited for these kids.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing a good story.
Thank you so much, Sandy. All right, our time's 11:44, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. There were a few fires that we were on top of this morning, but want to talk about this particular one. This happened in Southwest Atlanta on MLK Jr. Drive. It was an apartment where 4 of those homes are impacted in a pretty big way. So our Lindsay Tuman was out at the scene today, and she's got an update for us on what happened out there.
Atlanta fire crews were able to get the scene under control relatively quickly. They tell us they got the call to these apartments off of Martin Luther King Jr. Drive at around 6 o'clock this morning. By about 7, they had the fire almost completely knocked out. Now, they say when they got on the scene, they found a 2-story building with flames coming out. Firefighters immediately jumped into action, making sure that nobody was inside the building. Happy to report that there were no injuries, no rescues, and no one had to be taken to the hospital. Now, fire crews did call in some extra help because of the size of the fire, also the size of the building that they were working to contain. They were able to get those extra crews out here and really able to work very fast to make sure that everything was under control.
Some technical difficulties there, but I believe in this particular case, everyone did make it out safely, so there's that at least, but looks like quite a bit of damage was done to that apartment complex. Again, that was on MLK Jr. Drive in Southwest Atlanta. So we want to get you out now to something that happened at the Capitol today. Governor Kemp and his wife, Marty Kemp, were out honoring our nation's veterans ahead of Veterans Day. So let's take a look at some of what happened there and what the governor had to say.
Talking, relax.
Okay. Let's see. You can see the screen is locked up right there. Let me see if I can find you some more information on exactly what was happening there. Again, this happened on the steps of the state capitol. I think it was about 10:30 this morning. They had a ceremony where there were lots of speakers. Our veterans from all branches of the military were being honored there. You see, it's a great turnout there. And again, we're hoping to get you some of what Governor Kemp had to say. But if we're able to get that worked out, then we'll bring that back to you in just a few minutes. But how about this? In the meantime, let's take a pause. We'll see you on the other side of this. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being patient with us while we try to work things out here. Won't have any video to show you right now, but want to walk you through a few of the big stories that we're following, of course, dealing with the government shutdown. Day 37, the longest in U.S. history. President Trump is renewing his calls right now for senators to scrap the filibuster, and that would hopefully get things going, open the government back up. But there are signs negotiators could be making some progress. Negotiations moving forward very, very slowly. Some lawmakers right now are saying they are cautiously optimistic a deal could be reached by the end of the week. But of course, today being Thursday, not a lot of time to try to get a deal worked out here. Democrats are claiming it all depends on the White House. So the president has increased pressure on Senate Republicans to end the shutdown. And he's saying that the shutdown is a big factor in the way Republicans performed in the Tuesday elections. Of course, things were not good. It was a great night, though, for the Democrats. So in this whole shutdown, Democrats not budging in these negotiations. They're saying until these health care subsidies are extended. No word just yet on what this announcement will be. We've been waiting since 11 o'clock for news from the Oval Office. The president's scheduled to make a big announcement. So, of course, we've got it up. We've got the camera up. We're hopefully going to be able to take that for you as soon as it becomes available. But we'll keep you posted on the noon show on what comes of that. But also some really big news today from Nancy Pelosi. This was some breaking news. She announced her retirement from Congress, ending a decades-long career that saw her, the California Democrat, becoming one of the most powerful figures in U.S. politics. So she released a video message this morning just laying out what her plans were and that she will not be seeking re-election to Congress at the end of her term in January 2027. So this is the last go-around for the 85-year-old Democrat from Colorado. Again, yeah, some big news today from Nancy Pelosi. Also following this news as well across the country, finding out that the FAA will be lowering 10% reduction in flights at 40 major airports. I did see a list of those. Hartsfield-Jackson, the world's busiest here in Atlanta, is on that list. So that's another story that we'll be sure to follow for you as well. But again, that's certain to make on many of the flights and many of the airports around the country as well. So again, we've got our eyes on this big announcement that'll be coming from the president, and we'll be sure to keep you posted as soon as that comes down. But in the meantime, we'll see you at noon. And thank you so much for being with us on this Thursday. Take care.